Welcome to Miami. Bienvenidos a Miami as we get ready for another card of Combate Global from pillar to post. Always entertaining, and we'll leave you talking tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, don't forget about September 24th. It's going to be huge. Reina o nada. But right now, it is the preliminary cards, and we have a spectacular opener here. I mean, two fighters with a combined 17 wins, one of which had a couple fights at UFC. We'll get to that here in a moment, but this is the main event. Undefeated Mora and Victor Cisneros, Kyle Estrada and Cristian Barraza. Kyle Estrada once fought at Combate back in 2016. He's back again, and is a guy with a lot of experience, as does Cristian Barraza, who's been very busy here in the last 12 months or so. And then Nadine Abbott, who will take on Ariana Melendez in our featured women's bout in an ever-growing competitive atomweight class here at Combate. Start with our preliminary bouts here. Before we get to that main card later this evening, we'd like to welcome everyone tuning in all over the planet. It's Combate Global. Big plans for the rest of the year and even bigger plans for 2023. Leandro Soares fighting out of Porto Alegre, Brazil. We know about the Brazilian admiration for MMA and all the champions they have provided. He has a chance to rocket right up these flyweight rankings. Elias Garcia standing in his path. As always, we kick things off with Lupe Contreras.
Entrando a la jaula, Leandro Soares.
Leandro Foguinho Soares. You know what Foguinho translates into?
What's that?
Fogue would be fire.
Okay.
So Foguinho, little fire. Maybe dealing with the fact that he is fighting in the flyweight rankings. 10-3-1 from Porto Alegre, Brazil. There in the south, the Gaucho country of Brazil. Last fought in December. It was for a national level belt in Brazil. These guys had a lot of good fights in him making his Combate debut.
Yeah, and you see that right there, that emblem on his pants. Fight Sports, that's the team he trains out of. They're known for their great jiu-jitsu game. That's what you can expect from this young man. Great hands as well, so kudos and welcome to La Jaula as he makes his debut inside Combate Global.
As for his opponents, let's go back to Lupe.
Su oponente, Elias Garcia.
Call him Elias, call him Elias. Call him a guy who has lived this sport. Representing Team Moyama in Irvine, California, training with Alex Perez and Carla Esparza, some heavy hitters there, training with Rufus Supersport, 8 years there, and he is the cousin of UFC veterans Anthony and Sergio Pettis. Sergio's still very active, as is Anthony. And this is a guy who had a great start to his career, had a little bit of a hiccup, took a break, and now he is back, but has all the talent.
Yeah, last time we saw him back in November of 2021. Prior to that, he had been out of action for some time. He had been trying to get a fight, just didn't go his way, and now he's back in the winning column. That's what he wanted, and now he knows that he belongs in the sport, hence he feels very confident on a victory tonight.
Had 2 fights at UFC back in 2018, took a break, is back, he feels refreshed and ready to make a huge impact in this very competitive flyweight rankings as we go head-to-head, cara a cara. Soares, 6 years the senior. Garcia with a slight height advantage, although Soares with 2 inches via the reach. We're at flyweight 126. Both guys making it. Let's go to Lupe Contreras for the officials.
Este duelo, 3 vueltas, división peso mosca. This bout 3 rounds in the flyweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Richard Green, Mark Streisand y Byron Sellers. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de color amarillo, presenting the blue corner, wearing yellow, su peso oficial. 126 libras y media, he weighed in officially at 126.5 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 10 victorias, 3 derrotas y un empate, with a pro record of 10 victories against 3 losses and 1 bout even. Representando a Porto Alegre, Brasil, Leandro Foguinho Soares. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestido de blanco, is opposition in the red corner, wearing white. Sobre la báscula, marcó un peso oficial de 125.5 on the scale. He registered an official weight of 125.5 pounds. Entra por 10ª vez a la jaula. Con 7 victorias y 2 derrotas, he enters la jaula for the 10th time as a pro, with 7 victories against 2 losses. From Anaheim, California, Elias, el pescador Garcia. El referee internacional, Raúl Porrata.
El bigote, Raúl Porrata, the third inside la jaula.
Obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Todo el mundo, todo el tiempo y protege los combates ahora si quieren. Touch gloves, back to your corners.
Leandro Soares and Elias Garcia. Garcia, el pescador, the fisherman, looking to put out the bait.
Funny you mentioned, I was having a conversation there prior. He said he likes to fish peacock bass. That's one of his favorite. He's trying to find an opportunity to find a chance here to fish in Florida. But of course, fight week is kind of hectic for him. But maybe he can fill it in.
Oh wow, nothing like Florida fishing. If you can get a boat out there as Soares misses on the kick, and already maybe a guillotine attempt for Garcia. If you can get a boat out there where the Gulf of Mexico shoots out to the Everglades, you can get some crazy fish. But we're not talking about fish, we're talking about MMA.
Leandro here, Soares, this is where he likes this fight in the ground, trying to work out some stuff that he learns at the Fight Sports. Elias, of course, working with the team Moyama out of California. Got some great fighters coming out of that camp. Elias just searching here for something. Leandro on the defensive.
We mentioned Soares started his MMA career 8-0. Garcia started 6-0, and that's how he got into UFC. Had 2 good fights, and then he decided, let's take a break. Came back November, as Rodolfo pointed out, defeated El Niño Demolador, Ivan Lopez, via a 3rd-round rear naked choke.
That's when he finds his footing in the sport. At one time, he was even contemplating if he would continue in MMA, and it was that victory that sparked that plug to continue competing in mixed martial arts. Here, as you can see, Elias on the floor, Leandro patiently searching, perhaps landing some hammer fists, shots.
Getting his head there for some leverage.
Yeah, Elias has been looking for that arm bar.
Oh, he might have something.
More, yeah.
He's folded that arm over Soares. It's in a precarious situation. He's got a triangle brewing.
Well, what's making it difficult is the fact that he's really close to La Jaula. Makes it nearly impossible to get anything out of that. Now Leandro gets out of this.
Not much of a heel hook, but you know, something to work with. And never seen quite those transitions before, but hey, horses for courses.
It's very difficult, but you could get some submissions out of this position, believe it or not. One of them was caught in with Jorge Masvidal way back in his earlier career as a mixed martial artist.
Don't grab the fence.
Warning against Soares for grabbing the fence as he's trying to get leverage as Garcia's getting on top. I mean, it is a bundle of legs and arms there. Originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, there is the connection to Rufus Sports, which was also where the Pettis brothers got their start amongst many others.
Mejor posición.
I'm sure there, Porrata might stand these guys up, but there doesn't see much action coming from these two. Now some elbows from the side of Garcia.
Now, we saw Soares on the high ground. Garcia now able to enjoy that. Is quickly down to 2 minutes to go here in this opening round.
I'd like to circle back, Max, when we're in that position on the floor. He could have got an inverted triangle choke, which is very rare to apply, especially at this level in your professional career, when you've had that experience.
Both these fighters, when they are victorious, rarely go the distance. Garcia, of his 7 wins, 2 TKOs, 4 submissions. Soares, of his 10 wins, 2 TKOs, 7 submissions. He's had an arm bar, an arm triangle. He's had 4 rear naked choke finishes in his career.
That's a back and forth here. Leandro being very patient. Garcia, Elias landing in some shots.
He's had that arm of Soares clipped.
Stop.
And there, Raul Porrata will break them up. Did I give you my Raul Porrata bombshell from today or last night?
No, what's that?
Saw him at the hotel, and we were talking about high schools, and we're in Miami, and he said, what high school did you go to? I said, I went to Coral Gables High School. And he goes, I went to Coral Gables High School. I go, what year did you, I don't want to get into years, but we're 1 year separate. So we were actually probably walking in the same high school hallways all this time. We didn't know.
For those, Coral Gables High School has produced some great athletes, including Frank Gore.
Who,
mind you, Max,
Jonathan Bilma.
I have an assisted tackle against Frank Gore. No lie, I'm not kidding. Yes, assisted. I'm not going to take a full-blown tackle, but I did have some help.
Not a very great football program, but those two certainly had the heyday. Frank Gore was getting into some combat sports. I was noticing.
Yes, he had some fun there with some of the boxing, and you see a lot of transition with football players, even basketball players transitioning.
Part of that, I think the most famous Coral Gables graduate was Janet Reno, former.
You're taking it back.
We're on the end of the first round. Not much to really report
Whoa,
here. There's a very Bettis-esque kick.
Cartwheel kick.
From Bettis to end the first round. You get the feeling these guys wanted to get going, and neither really could. A lot of respect for each other, knowing we talked about the finishes that they've had in their career. There's a lot, so you don't want to get caught.
Yeah, kind of a slow start to the fight. Soares going for the kick, lost his footing, slipped, fell to the ground. Elias capitalizing it, and then it was just really back and forth here underground, searching for some submission. Just wasn't there. Parada standing both of these men. Elias with the kick was blocked by Soares, and then the cartwheel kick. Love that cartwheel kick. You see it very, very often in a Muay Thai. One of the guys I like, Sang Shai, is known for that cartwheel kick. Beautiful stuff.
Back here after an uneventful first round, and you hate to be cliche and say the feeling out process, but that was it, especially two fighters that are so adept at submissions. Now they get to stand up a little bit. Garcia with the kick into the midsection. He is trying to cock back that left hand.
Garcia has that purple belt in jiu-jitsu, black belt in kickboxing. Leandro pretty much
you know, like his cousins, the Pettis, you can already see he uses the cage or La Jaula to his advantage, trying to propel himself off one of the paddings there.
shots here, maybe some knee shots in the air, trying to go for the trip. Soares still so versed, defending it well, and taking it to the floor, using La Jaula to prevent Garcia to take him down.
And is trying to get in on those underhooks.
Yeah, using that clinch work. We're going straight down to the center of La Jaula. Some exchange, the open scoring, Max.
And we got a split bill, and I thought it was going to be pretty close, but those are the official scores. And I want to talk to you when we get there. We have the fight later this evening. Actually, coming up next, Jimmy Sandlin and Sebas Santana, and he was talking Sandlin. We were talking about how often do these fighters look at the scores, but Sandlin was talking about his last fight and how he did listen to the scorecards after two and knew that in the third round he had to come firing. So these fighters were getting more information that they do ask to get that information.
Soares, if you look at his facial expression here, looks a little concerned as he took the fight to the ground. Garcia very confident. He may be looking for a rear naked choke.
Garcia, submission win his last time out. Outside of the two fights at UFC, first round knockout March 2018, triangle choke in 2017. He's had to finish the fight with a heel hook and also a rear naked choke.
Soares reversed it now, but Garcia still working, landing in those elbows. Soares putting in that weight. Now he does have to search for something. He just can't just lay there. Garcia being the most active one, looking for a choke. Often transitioning here. Trying to scoop up. That's all he
it's triangle.
Yep, that's just.
Keep Soares held into place.
Yeah, and you heard Garcia's corner that Soares was just trying to hold position. That's exactly what he was doing, just putting all his weight, but not much action. Garcia is the most active one here today, right now.
He's got a lot brewing here, Rodolfo. That triangle, he looked to maybe kick the tires on the arm bar, but now Soares closes the gap.
He just has to just adjust the position there, but he does have it linked in. just to squeeze in there, find that chance, force Soares to come in a little more so he can really squeeze in there and go for that choke.
What's Soares thinking here? I mean, he looks very cautious. It almost feels like he's like, if I lift up here on the left side, I might find myself in trouble on the right.
Right now he's in a critical stage. He has to be cautious. Every maneuver is worth everything.
He's out.
There he is.
Big
Watch
knee
out
on
for
the
that
way
knee.
out.
But that's that fight sports. That's that fight sports training that he gets. That when he's in a position like that, he's able to overcome it in a patient way.
Soares just standing there right now, maybe a little tired from getting out of that exchange. Perez is not lighting it on fire, but compared to the stationary approach of Soares, who now makes his way in, a little blood on the bridge of the nose. Perez, pardon me, Elias Garcia.
Got him flipped there with the cut. Soares not leveling, trying to search for something. Garcia being more of a patient. You know, in this round, he's been the most active one in the ground. At the
good kick.
Kick, yeah.
A little flick at the end and making contact. Good stand up here from Elias Garcia. 5'5". We're in the flyweight ranking. Soares, Route 1.
Now, if you look at some of the fights that Soares has had in the past, he's more aggressive. He's more patient this time around. Not sure maybe if it's because it's the first time he fights at such a high level, high intensity, such a big stage out of Brazil.
Garcia getting inside Soares' range. That's where he wants to be. Getting a little more activity in the feet, too.
Yeah, good movement by Garcia, trying to pace himself to find that great opportunity where he can land and strike.
Lead left hand along the way, showing that he is finding his range.
Won't be shocked if Soares again tries to attempt to take this fight to the floor, to the ground.
10 seconds to go after an intriguing, another almost a carbon copy kick that just flicks to the head of Soares. Looks like Garcia getting a hold of this fight.
Soares looks a little winded, Max.
He did. There was that moment where he just stopped moving as he got out of the submission attempt from Garcia.
No, because the fight is on top. So if they take you down, don't play it on too long, because I don't know how to.
Now we're seeing the replay. Garcia in with those kicks, connected. He missed one, but he did connect with that last one. You'll see it later on in the replay here. But Garcia connecting here heavily. That was a shot that took down Soares, and he took it to the floor. Garcia felt very confident landing in those shots and then looking in for the submission, but Soares did overcome this, did not hit the panic button, and was able to take this fight to the feet, giving us another round.
Back here for round 3. Let's see what Soares has as he looked flat in that second round, as Garcia was able to show his wherewithal on the ground and some good stand-up skills here. It's going to be an interesting scorecard, to say the least, once those get revealed after it was a split card from the first round.
And to be fair to Soares, he didn't have that full camp for this fight. So that does play a big role, Max. But again, you know, opportunities there, you take it, big stage against a guy like Garcia. You go for it.
All 3 of his defeats were via decision. So when he gets deep into fights, that's when tends to lose his way. Garcia, again, doesn't go decisions when he wins either, but has the upper hand and starting to look like he's hitting his groove. Jab starting to work.
Just pacing himself. I'm sure Soares would love to see if he could take this to the ground, but he hasn't had much success, though.
Garcia wins on all judges' cards in round 2.
You're the most active one, there's no doubt in my mind.
Striking's looking good here for Garcia. I mean,
Yeah,
that's not his calling card, but it's working.
He's picking up the case in this round. Pace is a lot different compared to that first and second. It's like he's building up to the final seed, Max.
Oh, he got caught coming in. Soares, that left hand shook him a bit. And that's something that Garcia has to be careful, because Soares is such a veteran, a guy who has been there, done that, has been in this game a long time. With his submission wherewithal, he can turn this on a dime.
It's that 1-2 combo from Garcia, but Garcia needs to keep that right hand up. Because Soares did sneak in that shot.
He's finding targets everywhere. He goes upstairs, hits the lead leg, goes into the midsection.
Trying to go for the switch kick. Faked it on him. Did work, though, because he did connect with that front kick in the face.
This is in the flyweight division after winning in November. Back-to-back wins for Garcia here in Combate certainly would give him a case to be in the top 10 of the flyweights.
Now we're getting some striking, Max.
Plenty of time to go, too.
Garcia's game plan here is working at this position. Lots of feint calling in Soares, and he goes for the bait, just like a fisherman.
Good striking by Garcia, and that right hand protects him, too. Excellent stand-up, and it's getting hold of this fight into the lead leg.
And he's setting up with those kicks.
Blood around the eye now of Soares.
Yeah, when he goes in for that inside kick, that's just a preview to call in Soares, where he's going to be met with shots from Garcia.
One of two bouts in this 125-pound division tonight. Second one coming up as the co-main event. Kyle Estrada versus Cristian Barraza.
Garcia's being very persistent with this hand in this round. Oh, tempted for that spinning back fist.
All right, maybe a grandstand finish. Soares has to go.
Garcia's just waiting for that. Oh, nice question mark.
Great kick.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the dexterity, and he goes with both feet. Brilliant.
Shows you how
that's hard to do.
Talented he is. Oh, yes. Heck, it's hard to try with one, now with two.
He did it immediately. Look, everything's working right now for Garcia. He has grown into the fight. Looked better in the second round. He looks great in the third round. The knee catches Soares' head coming down.
Man, he's just waiting for that highlight reel. Because he knows that Soares is not there. He's winded. He's tired. Garcia's just counting down, calling him in.
Pretty sure we know the cousins are watching. They have to be thrilled. This is a guy who had to hit the reset button, but you can see he's discovered new parts of his game.
And you talk about new parts of his game. He's throwing in new arsenal. Being a little creative with his work. As you take a look at some of the stats.
Pretty decisive gap. Look at the kicks, 49-9. Soares takes him down, maybe sets up a Garcia submission attempt. Heel kick, heel kick. 30 seconds left.
Soares needs to be cautious. He could get knocked out with one of those kicks. And now, once again, we saw this in previous rounds, where Garcia has been searching for that submission, triangle submission.
He had a third-round submission in November.
A lot of pummeling, a lot of transitioning.
Pretty clean effort here by Garcia, as it's going to be going his direction. Didn't have to.
He was just desperate, trying to go for something real quickly to finish it.
We are back. Time now for the official decision from our opening bout here in Combate Global on Paramount Plus and our worldwide audience. Let's go to Lupe Contreras for the officials.
El juez Mark Streisand anotó 29-28. Judge Streisand scores it 29-28. Y los jueces Sellers y Green entregan tarjetas de 30-27. Judges Sellers and Green score the bout at 30-27. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Los tres a favor del ganador por decisión unánime. El pescador, Elias Garcia.
Yeah, he can go fishing now. Good effort from him against a very good opponent. 2-0 now in Combate, 8-2. That's a great record.
That is a great record, and I know some of the ranking gods there are taking an eye on Garcia.
Arafat there in our matchmaking team ready. We're just getting started. Don't go anywhere. Friday night, it's Combate Global time. Back here, Combate Global, we move on in a catch weight matchup between two guys that would project at lightweight. Maybe they want to give a sniff to 170 pounds. It's the Sandstorm, Jimmy Sandlin, and Sebas Santana Guedes representing España. Jimmy Sandlin putting the work in. I believe it's fight number 4 for him in 2022, and he feels like he can get another one in before the end of the year. We are ready to go. Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
Entrando a la jaula, Jimmy Sandlin.
So today, September the 9th, Jimmy Sandlin last fought July 22nd, not a long time ago. Let's call it 5 weeks. That was a war against Eric Montaño. He was asked about it. He said he thought he was winning. We probably didn't disagree, but he was fighting hard. He was bloodied up, but he was taking the punches in stride. Did say he found out he was losing ahead of round 3 and tried to give it. It got away from him against a very big Eric Montaño.
This guy's a fighter. The fighters would give him a phone call. He'll be ready to go, but he looks in great shape compared to previous fights, so we're going to see a different Sandstorm tonight.
Su rival, Sebas Santana.
Sebastián Sebas Santana from Las Palmas in las Islas Canarias, which is a hotbed of Spanish fighting. Does have Cuban roots, and you can hear it when he talks. This is a guy who he saw fight in April, and he fought one of the best in Combate in Puas. That was a fight that he actually went the decision, lost unanimously.
Puas just didn't allow this man to do anything. Sebas says that for this fight, he feels very confident with his hands. So anticipate a lot of striking from Sebas, who's ranked in his division. And then on the contrary, Jimmy Sandlin, he told me, I've been focusing more on MMA as a whole instead of the traditional martial arts, which he was doing previously when he took on Perry Montaño.
Head-to-head, cara-a-cara, big height advantage for Santana, also via the reach. Catch weight of 163. These two guys normally would be lightweights at 155. They will get there, but they want to fight, so they're fighting. Let's go to Lupe Contreras. Get ready for our final fight on the main card.
Este duelo, a un peso pactado a 163 libras de spout. At a catch weight of 163 pounds, los jueces son, the judges are Eliseo Rodríguez, Richard Green y Mark Streisand. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestido de rojo, presenting the blue corner, wearing red. Marcó un peso oficial de 161 libras y 3/4. On the scale, he registered an official 161 3/4 pounds. Y a nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 6 victorias y 5 derrotas. As a professional, he maintains a record of 6 victories against 5 losses. Fighting out of Carlisle, Ohio, Jimmy Sandstorm Sandlin. En la esquina opuesta, vestido de amarillo in the opposite corner, wearing yellow. Su peso oficial, 162 libras y media, his official weight, 162 1/2 pounds. A nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 8 victorias, 5 derrotas, un empate y una decisión nula. As a professional, he maintains a record of 8 victories against 5 losses, 1 bout even, and 1 no contest. De Gran Canaria, España, Sebas Santana. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Marcos Pérez, the third inside La Jaula.
Here, wait. Okay, so you know the rules. I want a clean fight, okay? Follow my command at all time, okay? Ya sabes las reglas, okay? Una pelea limpia. Sigue mi comando en todo momento, okay? Toss your 3-1. Go to your corner.
Jimmy Sandlin cleaned up from his last fight. He looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo with the hair and the goatee.
Are you ready?
Different dude inside La Jaula this
Completely.
time around. Look for Jimmy Sandlin. He has great wrestling. Sebas, good hands. Should be a fun one. Sebas competed in that European tournament last year. It's the first time we saw him inside La Jaula. And Jimmy, I mean, he's just a staple in La Jaula. We see him all the time inside in competition.
Sebas Santana, fought Buas Perez, and he's fought Patrick Lehan. So he is matched up against some of the best fighters in his direct weight class categories. Again, ranked fighter, as Rodolfo touched on, he is number 10 at the lightweights. Said he didn't make a big deal about it, doesn't really think about it too much, but if you climb up, certainly that is, because that means you get better fights. And if you are in the top 10, you will be targeted. Big kick by Santana on the inside of the leg. Sandlin moving a lot.
Sandlin took out that fight against Montaño. Montaño being the bigger of the two, if you recall. He's a big dude.
How much respect do you have for Jimmy Sandlin? Because he fought Eric Montaño's big. And now look at Santana. Santana is just 5-6 inches taller than him.
Montaño looked like a rock compared to Sandlin, but Sandlin took the fight. And I was looking back at that fight, and Sandlin, man, those kicks, it almost seemed like...
I was starting to hurt. My legs were hurting.
It was, man, Montaño was just, he's like a solid dude compared to this Sandlin. So much respect for him to taking this fight. And now this is a fight for him. Of course, Sebas here, the taller of the two, has that range. So he has to use that to his advantage. But Sandlin should capitalize on the wrestling, and that's one thing with Montaño. Sandlin pulled the trigger in the wrestling towards the end of the fight instead of pushing it earlier on.
Speaking of, he said, I thought I was winning, was doing better striking than it looked like, so you know what we were looking at.
Right.
Didn't feel threatened to do anything else. Then I got to the third round, I realized I was down 2 rounds, wasn't enough, made some mistakes, had a nice training camp for this, but he's fighting another just big dude, which wasn't a great matchup last time, but he's doing all right so far here.
But unlike Montaño, this Sebas is more the taller, not muscular. Montaño was just like a solid dude compared to Simeon, so this is more like his fight. But Sandlin should put the trigger here on the wrestling. I don't know why he's not. If he would have just replayed that fight against Buas and Sebas didn't have good transition, but Sandlin does have a couple of wins by way of submission, so why not test that ground?
Sandlin, as you would imagine, struggling to close the gap, but now he just drops an anchor, and Santana's not attacking that lead leg, allowing Sandlin to make contact with that left hand.
And again, Sandlin with those kicks, he's not putting too much hip into it. You gotta put the hip into it. Especially if you're going in with those low kicks. They'll teach you in Muay Thai to use that hip, use that to pivot, to come with all that force, like you're chopping it. You'll see the videos where the Thais, they're just kicking bamboo kicks, bamboos, just chopping it down. You gotta come in with, there we go. Now you're getting a little more
the rib cage. Sandlin doing all the work right now. Much more active fighter. Santana looking to counterpunch.
Yeah, it almost seems like Sandlin is just using those kicks as a setup because they're not coming in with much power.
Santana has to be a little off-put by the fact he can't close the gap. He connects with the kick. Sandlin switches stances.
I do like from Sandlin his boxing, a lot of head movement, very fluid, very confident with the hands.
I know you also like that he showed up to media availability in a Sublime shirt. Pride of Carlisle, Ohio.
Tonight. It is Friday after all.
It is. Enjoy it wherever you are. Had said about his training camp, same things as usual. He said, as you pointed out, he said, I'm focusing on MMA instead of traditional martial arts. What does that mean?
Well, when it comes to martial arts, that's basically what he's saying is focusing on certain techniques, certain levels of martial arts instead of a whole genre putting it on to play all at once. Because sometimes people would just train on, let's say, judo or jiu-jitsu. You know, that's what he said by traditional martial arts, to stick to one thing. But now he's just encompassing everything all together and putting it into play. That's what he means by that. And I get it because, but then the downfall is you might be a little weak, say, on your boxing. So you kind of lay off it. So then you got to put it all together. That's the fun stuff about the sport.
He felt like something was lacking. Hope he's alleviated. He's off to a pretty good start here after round one. In between rounds here. After this, we head to the main card. There is Sebas Santana.
And let's take a look at the replay from that opening round. Trying to test each other out. Sandlin with the kicks gets met by Sebas' left hand. Sandlin, the beautiful over right hand. Following it up with another right. A kick here from Sebas to the rib area. Sandlin, though, did have those elbows down to block it. Great work from both these men in the opening round.
Back here for round two, a optimistic Jimmy Sandlin, who's worked better against the big man, Sebas Santana, who we last saw against Puas Perez. Said he learned a lot from that fight. Helped make some adjustments in training after what happened with Puas. It was competitive, and let's remember, Puas is really one of the biggest star attractions in Combate Global, and he is part of a group that are chasing the top guys at 145. Pardon me, 155. Currently ranked number 2 in that category.
Sandlin's overhand, man. He is coming in with power with those hands. Lots of power in as we take a look at the open scoring, Max. Santana taking the first round. You gotta come in with more power with those low kicks. And Santana is the lankier. He's the taller of the one. If you could chop that leg down, come in with full force, it will benefit Sandlin. See how he throws in that leg? He's not standing up, putting all that weight. It's more like he's leaving himself off balance. He's doing a great way of kicking the way that he just did there, but if he's gonna come in with those low kicks, you gotta come in with the hips. Not unless you're setting it up, but you gotta follow up with your hands, of course.
Well, you saw Sebas Santana won the first round. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I thought Santana was a little more efficient, but Sandlin was a heavier workload. He's going to be frustrated. He thought he won that first round against Montaño, and it's going to be frustrating for him. But he's never one to put his head down. Still going forward.
That lead leg of Sebas is there. There we go. Now he got a little power into. I got the echo.
Good head movement by Santana, and now his output is starting to increase, finding the range with those jabs.
Great at Sandlin, though, as he throws in that left hand. Keeps that shoulder up to protect himself from any shots with Sebas connecting there. Great right.
Haven't seen much of the submission game for Santana, which is very, very good for him. In his 7 victories, 5 have finished via submission, including 3 guillotine chokes.
Sandlin trying to go for an uppercut, moved out of the way. Both exchange of kicks. Look at that rib area from Sandlin, the right side. You'll see a little red there. Even the back of the left side of Sandlin, Max. Santana's legs are connecting. Lots of power.
Santana now in pursuit. Sandlin moving back.
Now you're starting to reach him. Now you're starting to get a little closer.
And you can hear Sandlin's corner go. He hasn't been able to give you that reach, but he is going for it now. Maybe he can catch his hand in the cookie jar.
Sandlin needs to close that distance, work the body. Remember, he's the taller of the, Santana's the taller of the two, so you gotta work that body.
Sebas Santana, parents are Cuban. He was born in Spain. We mentioned he competed for Spain in that European tournament, training with Taz Ginamar in España.
So far, we've seen a stand-up fight here between these two. No taste of the ground, Max.
Blocked there by Santana.
Great block there by Santana, keeping those elbows down when that kick came through from Sandlin.
Oh, but now Santana's really starting to grab hold of this fight.
got caught
Right
twice.
uppercut caught Sandlin coming in.
Sandlin trying to stomp the canvas. to throw Santana off. He didn't go for it. Great over left hand.
Talk about the competition, the tournament aspect of Combate Global. Sebas Santana's been in one. Jimmy Sandlin was in one, too, back in November of 2021. Lost to Alicat Alvarez in the quarterfinals of the USA versus Mexico tournament. Alvarez would go on to lose to Baby Bull Gonzalez, who would go on to win the tournament. Very busy in Combate for Sandlin.
Sandlin's very active. He even said that he might sneak in another fight.
That's right. He says, I'm picking up 3 wins this year. I want to do that. Maybe get a 4th. And he wants to hit 2023 very hard. Got to win some fights, though.
That is impressive. Like Sandlin setting it up with the right.
I always ask you, I always want to see if you change your mind. What's the right amount of fights to have a year? 3, 4?
It varies. I would say 3. I mean, it's so very variable.
Ooh, good right
Age
hand.
comes into play. If you're a champion.
Lots of activity right at the end for Sandlin. Not sure it'll be enough for going to round 3. Much better there from Sebas Santana. It would appear that first round he was trying to find his rhythm. Looks like he found it in round 2.
Very solid boxing, stand up. He said it. I've been working on my hands. I want to display it tonight. Surely enough, he's been doing it. As we take a look at what's at stake in just a few in the main event. Mora, Max, gonna make his debut inside La Jaula.
Cubano 2-0. We'll know if he's the real thing, if he can defeat Victor Ragnar Cisneros from Chiapas, who comes in at 5-0. The main event coming your way later this evening.
Johnny, with your hand, watch out, watch out, okay? Judge.
Back here now for round 3. Sebas Santana. Sebas Santana from España. Jimmy Sandlin from good old Carlisle, Ohio.
Has such a great history in wrestling. Smart through to now working in a laboratory.
Smart guy, like so many MMA fighters. This is a number 10 fighter, Santana. Sandlin says, I would like to get shots at number 10. I can beat anyone ranked 5 through 10. 1 through 4 would be tough, although I would be a good matchup for anyone ranked in those spots.
Sandlin now switching levels. He worked the body now to the top. That's what he had to do, keep Santana guessing where he's gonna take those strikes.
Oh, Sandlin got caught. Mostly the back of the head, but Santana feeling much better. Sandlin has to feel a bit frustrated against the much taller fighters. Never really been able to get in. That kick connects. Responded immediately by Santana's kick to the inside of the leg.
Santana training at a Taz Inamar camp. Great work from that camp out of Spain. We've seen many camps coming out of that country as we look at the open scoring, Max.
Sandlin unlucky maybe not to get the first round. Second round wasn't much of a doubt. Sebas Santana leading the way, all 3 judges.
You know where to go.
Sandlin measuring where he's gonna strike. Now he tried to go for the ground. He tried to go for that leg. Santana, though, putting the brakes on the American. Oh!
The Sandlin corner likes it, but he needs more.
Mix it up. Let him know which one's coming.
We heard the corner there. 3-2 means hook and a straight from Sandlin. But the corner telling him, confuse him. Don't let him know what's coming. So switch it. And you might ask, don't show it to him. Well, sometimes when you're trying to fake, you kind of throw it. That's what he meant by that. So you have to keep him close, keep him guessing. See how he keeps those hands out? Now he's throwing bombs.
Sandlin just get Santana out of reach. Missing with that kick. The little spinning back, but a little snap about the air.
Don't want to give your back. Never want to do that.
Center of the Jaula again. 2:45 to go. Jimmy Sandlin. We always have to bring up his scholastic experience here when he's in our one of full scholarship, Limestone University in Ohio, honors student, magna cum laude. Wanted to be going to medical school. Maybe he still goes that direction. He's a smart kid, but he loves fighting. What can we tell you? First quasi takedown attempt.
I attempted to go use that wrestling.
Not enough striking from the Sandlin corner.
Hey, you hear him. You gotta be more sending some of that pressure. And listen, you're down. You know you're down. You have to bring everything.
Now
That's
he's
that
inside.
right. Through that left.
Little jab. Little look over to the corner for Santana to get some coaching.
Yeah, and you have to throw in that jab consistently and throw in that overhand.
Big sweeping leg kick. Stats look pretty even, although Sandlin looks like he would be winning with these stats. Unfortunately, optically, doesn't look the same way. Lots of misses. Overhead left. That kind of stops Santana. Minute 30 to go here. Sandlin still can do something.
Well, Max, it seems that...
Pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, the way that this fight's going, Santana might be obtaining his first victory inside La Jaula.
Santana, good left. Just precision in the striking. Elegant fighter. It's been a good matchup for him.
But credit to Sandlin. His boxing has changed. He's not keeping his hand down. He's looking straight. Good head movement. The improvement is there.
Sebas Santana started his career 6-1-1. It's been a bit rocky here. You know he has the talent. He's fought some really top-tier fighters.
Great way of breaking up that clinch. But Sandlin needs to put the pressure. He has a minute, less than a minute to go if he wants to win this fight.
And then throw another strike. You gotta double it up.
Gives one, but he takes one. Doubles up Santana.
If you give one, give 30 if you want to win this fight. Because right now, Santana clearly has the hands on the wheel. And it seems like he's going to get that first victory inside La Jaula.
Would be his first victory in 2022. The loss to Puas happened in April. This one's gonna feel good if he can finish the job. And maybe a chance to move up those rankings, whether he cares about them or not.
This is, remember that first fight he had against Leandro was a one-rounder.
Yes, in the Combate Cup back August of 2021. Looking pretty clean at the end. First class from Santana gives Sandlin a kiss. He knows this guy's a warrior and would fight. We love him, but he may not have enough on this evening.
Ahí tenemos al entrenador que
Sebas Santana getting some good camera time, sending some messages out. As he feels confident he has the victory, we certainly feel the same. Started slow, built into the fight, and was commanding by the third round. A striking exhibition.
It was only like 1 or 2 spots, but
Después de 3 vueltas, los jueces Green y Streisand están de acuerdo con tarjetas de 30-27. After 3 rounds, judges Green and Streisand are in agreement with scores of 30-27. Y el juez Rodríguez anotó 29-28. Judge Rodríguez scores at 29-28. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Los tres a favor del vencedor por decisión unánime. De España, Sebas Santana.
That's what it means. Record looking a lot better. And now he starts to look at what lies ahead. In all likelihood, back down at 155 pounds. We're heading towards our main card next. Victory, Sebas Santana.
yeah, what I was saying, Max, is if only like once he attempted, or maybe 3 times he attempted to go to the floor. But Sandlin was really impressive in that stand-up game. I know Santana said that he wanted to display what he had been working on, and this fight entirely was pretty much on the feet. Sandlin did connect a shot or 2 with those over right hands and over left hands, throwing in heavy. He tried to set it up with the jabs, following up with her hands, the kicks as well. But Santana's reach, that was the story here. You know, he knew how to play it so well, found the right opportunity to strike. When Sandlin was switching the stance, Santana see it a mile away, and he'll just capitalize on it and shoot. And frankly enough, that was just enough for the judges to give this victory to Santana for the first win inside La Jaula. Congratulations to this man. Back in the winning column.
Excellent for Sebas Santana, and hope he to make his way to the main card. And lightweight is just an embarrassment of riches right now. Currently, the number 1 is Enrique Baby Bull Gonzalez. The number 2 is Puas, who he fought. He hit triple digits on the punches as Sebas Santana on his way. Combate Global main card coming your way. It'll begin Nadine Abbott versus Ariana Melendez, our featured women's bout. Kyle Estrada, Cristian Barraza in the flyweight rankings. Looking ahead for one of those two guys. Sean Mora, Victor Cisneros, a battle of the undefeated in the main event, which will be in the bantamweight division. There is the man they call Ragnar, fighting out of Chiapas, now out of Mexico City, getting the better camps, getting a little more experience and putting it all into the bank against Mora, Freedom Fighters guy, knowing this would be a result that could put him on his way.
Looking forward to the debut of this young man and these ladies as well. Champion in the amateur levels, making her debut, Nadine. Looking forward to this young lady, Ariana here of Florida, also making her debut. Should be a fun fight between these two ladies, making that Combate Global debut inside La Jaula. A surfer, a pro surfer to be exact.
She was in a surf shop, someone came in, thought it was interesting. Live images right now inside the tunnel as Kyle Estrada and Cristian Barraza coming your way next. An incredible story is Estrada. We'll touch on that against Cristian Barraza, who is back inside the Jaula for a third time in 2022. He was in the Jaula 4 more times in 2021. A very active fighter. He loves it. He needs a win, though. And there he is with the bandera chilena draped over his shoulders. Really intriguing women's fight, no doubt about it. We talked about the Ariana Melendez, and she talks this talk, exceptionally confident about what she is able to do. And Nadine Abbott, the latest Irish fighter to hit the hit land here at Combate Global. The pipeline's been great. Will she be the latest to get a victory in Miami? Combate Global, the main card, coming your way next.
Mi nombre es Cristian Barraza, aquí me conocen como Scorpio. Soy de Peñalolén, Santiago de Chile, y tengo 28 años. Representar a Chile aquí en Combate Global para mí es un orgullo. Siento que soy feliz haciendo esto, siento que estoy en el lugar que quiero y por qué no llegar a ser un campeón en un futuro. Bueno, después de perder y de más de una vez consecutivamente, muchas veces el perder te enseña tanto que tuve que hacer muchas modificaciones, cambiar mi mentalidad, entregarme a mi esencia, que era el jiu-jitsu brasileño, y estoy feliz nuevamente de volver porque sé que cambiaron muchas cosas. Hablando de mi oponente, como cualquier otro peleador, pienso, lo estudié levemente, sé lo que hace bien, creo reconocerlo, también sé lo que hace mal. Estoy seguro que será una de mis mejores peleas porque a eso he venido. Vine a demostrar que mi evolución es constante, tengo un enfoque diferente, vengo con la convicción de de no volver a casa si no vuelvo con la victoria. Yo vengo a poner mi nombre nuevamente en la jaula, como ya he estado antes, pero quiero que se haga notar, que suene, y quiero ganarme el respeto que me merezco. Kyle Estrada, bienvenido a la jaula, yo te voy a recibir como se debe, vamos a dar una buena pelea y créeme que no va a ser fácil. Yo soy un chileno con muchos huevos y nos vamos a ver en la jaula, ahí te espero.
Miami, the backdrop for the epicenter of mixed martial arts. Mucho Más Acción Combate Global is back. We have a massive September coming your way. Woo. Circle your calendars for September 24th. A fight unlike any others. Reina o Nada will be inside the jaula. We are anticipating the matchup between Lucero Acosta and Mariel Celimen to possibly break women's MMA viewership numbers. But that's a couple weeks down the road. We have got our main card underway here tonight. This is what it looks like. Nadine Abbott and Ariana Melendez will meet up in the atomweight matchup in the women's, which is a division that is getting stronger and stronger every week. The main event, Mora and Victor Cisneros, two undefeated fighters, but somebody's has got to go, as Juliana Pena would say. And Juliana Pena will be with us on the 24th, so do not miss that. Looking forward to that. And now, coming up next, Kyle Estrada, Cristian Barraza. Kyle Estrada, one of a kind, using MMA to pick up the pieces and make a better life for himself.
MMA has given me structure, it helped me survive. I went through depression. I know how good I am and I know how much left I have in the sport. Honestly, it's given me life. My name is Kyle Estrada and I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Representar a Chile para mí es un orgullo. Me gusta dar una pelea atractiva para el público y para la gente que está viendo desde todo el mundo. Mi nombre es Cristian Barraza, tengo 28 años.
I'm not someone who's going to sit here and say I flip a switch and turn into a maniac and I go and I kill. I want people to watch the fight and pick up technique from watching the fight.
Reconozco que tiene mucha experiencia, se mueve bien. Estoy seguro que será una de mis mejores peleas porque a eso he venido y quiero ganarme el respeto que me merezco.
I just don't see what he has to offer me. I'm too technical. Trust me, when you get hit with my legs, it's different.
Kyle Estrada, vamos a dar una buena pelea y nos vamos a ver en la jaula.
Head-to-head time now. This is going to be in the flyweight division. Both fighters making their weight. Estrada, 4 years the senior, all level on the height. Big reach advantage, though, 5 inches for the man they call Scorpio from Chile. Kyle Estrada fought in Combate once before. It was all the way back in 2016. He's looking to make a much better showing here and show that he is back and to be reckoned with in this division. Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
Las reglas oficiales de la jaula, 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo, división peso mosca, this bout in the flyweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Byron Sellers, Eliseo Rodríguez y Richard Green. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestido de blanco, presenting the blue corner, wearing white. Sobre la báscula, marcó un peso oficial de 125 libras y media on the scale. He registered an official 125.5 pounds. A nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 11 victorias y 7 derrotas as a pro. He has a record of 11 victories against 7 losses. That's Scottsdale, Arizona, Kyle, the Hoosier, Estrada. En la esquina roja, vestido de azul, in the red corner, wearing blue. Su peso oficial, 126 libras, his official weight, 126 pounds. Entra en su 15º combate, con 8 victorias y 6 derrotas. He enters la jaula for the 15th time as a professional, with 8 victories against 6 losses. De Santiago de Chile, Cristian Scorpio Barraza. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Marcos Pérez, the third inside la jaula.
Come on, get closer. Stop here. Okay, so
Marcos Perez doing it in 2 languages for our fighters. There is Kyle Estrada, 11-7. Fought Jonathan Santamaria in Combate back in 2016. Also fought in Bellator. Beat David Duran, who was also a Combate fighter back in the day.
Look for Estrada to stand up right from the start. First thing he threw was a kick. Barraza has a great ground game. However, he has improved a lot on his boxing. Estrada has incredible stamina, so this guy can go for many, many rounds.
Oh, Barraza connects with his right hand, and the right hand
kick
by Estrada. Estrada, the white shorts. These two shot out of a cannon.
He said in the interview, I don't even look. I just do it, and they come out naturally. Trying to go for a spinning back elbow, but those kicks from Estrada, I mean, he's thrown at least a good close to 10 already.
Now to recap what we heard from Estrada, who reached out to make contact with that kick and then get out of there. Barraza, a submission specialist, a top-tier jiu-jitsu practitioner. Another left hand there by Estrada, catching Barraza.
Barraza got a little whiplash out of that, Max.
Already the face of Barraza red. Yeah, this goes for the single leg. Estrada flushes it out. He looks extra sharp, Kyle Estrada, who moved from Los Angeles to Scottsdale. The Hoosier, originally from Indiana. I did want to talk about what he said to us this week, which just stopped us in our tracks. He says, I went through depression. I almost killed myself. I don't talk about it. Haven't told my mom. She will probably find out when she watches this. If mom is watching, I'm sure she's going to have a chat with her. But we wanted to say how important it is for him to tell people that, because that is certainly a sign that you have accepted the situation and you're ready to talk about it.
Absolutely. And with the pandemic, so many people have faced some dark times. And listen, 988 is a number if you are facing some situation, you want to speak to someone, don't be ashamed of it. 988, that's the number you need to call.
He said MMA helped him survive. It will keep it going. He was also involved, he was in Los Angeles working in the film business, something that he wants to perhaps get back to after MMA, but this is his passion. This was what he wants to do. He was a wrestler back in the day. He found MMA. And now this is something can fill that void. That thrills up with wrestling as the spinning back fist catches Barraza. Flush.
He's been waiting to connect. He hit it earlier on. Barraza blocked it, but not this time around. Took him right to the floor. Barraza
hanging on.
He's in panic mode, Max. Kyle connecting with more elbows. Barraza's just hanging on by a thread.
He's got to go to take him down or something here. He's just absorbing this pressure.
I don't think Barraza knows where he is right now.
He's in big trouble. Barraza, who we've seen him 6 submission victories in his 8 professional wins. He's got to show something in the takedown category, or this fight will not see the second round.
Estrada knows that he has this fight in the pocket. He's just trying to finish it off here. Look how he's picking it up. He's using Barraza like a punching bag.
Now, Estrada looks outstanding. Barraza last fought
any minute now is going to stop, Max.
More peppering at the punches. He's looking at the referee, Estrada, saying, is that enough?
Barraza's not doing much here to
He's got to defend himself. This fight's going to stop.
He's not doing much. He has to get that referee camera.
He's not been well since the spinning back fist. You saw Marcos Perez finally step in. Kyle Estrada dropping a calling card with an explosive victory. Hasn't been inside the cage since October of 2021. He's back, and he's back with a vengeance.
Wow. It all started with that spinning shot from Estrada. Oh, incredible stuff from that young man.
Oh, Scorpio Barraza, a guy we love here. He's the first family of Combate. His wife, Gloria Bravo, a fighter here. Always picks up a fight. This is just outclassed. Kyle Estrada looks like the real deal Holyfield. Victorious.
Sick dude, man.
I mean, he said it all. He goes, I don't flick a switch and turn into a maniac. I am technician. I am neat. Everything's neat in my house. I have OCD. Everything is neat in the Jaula. That was a pretty picture-perfect spick and span victory for Kyle Estrada. And we will be back with the official decision. Victory for the Hoosier. Kyle Estrada came and conquered from that opening bell. He came in with bad intentions and overwhelmed Cristian Barraza, caught him with that spinning back fist, and it was over at that point. Official decision to Lupe Contreras.
El referee Marcos Pérez interviene para la contienda con un tiempo oficial de 3 minutos, 22 segundos del primer episodio. Referee Marcos Pérez intervenes and stops this contest with an official time of 3 minutes, 22 seconds of the opening round. Your winner, by way of technical knockout, el ganador por knockout técnico, the Hoosier, Kyle Estrada.
Maybe from Indiana, but he has the Combate makeup. Great entertainment inside the Jaula. By the way, the #1 ranked flyweight, Mikey Reyes, Estrada beat him back in 2017. So add that to the list of fights we may want to see. We'll be back with much more Combate. The entertainment level starting to peak here for Combate Global thanks to Kyle Estrada. First round stoppage victory over Cristian Barraza, which he was just scary. Barraza reeling from almost the very first bell. And there is Ocean Boulevard.
Drive.
Ocean Drive. I haven't been to Miami in so long.
That's the reason
I don't get to see
why.
Raul Porata there. I did see him in my high school days, which is interesting.
Let's take a look at the highlights. Not much, actually, because it was all Kyle Estrada in this competition at 125 pounds. Just right from the start with
Boom.
those kicks. Beautiful spinning back elbow. I'm telling you, Barraza didn't know what hit him. Fell right straight to the canvas. Didn't even know how to come back from that.
Bang.
Kyle Estrada, just beautiful. That's going to be trending all over Twitter, I'm sure. Beautiful spinning back elbow that put Barraza straight down. And then Estrada just precise with his shots. It was just pretty a matter of time until the referee stepped in and called this fight. Right from the start, man. Estrada just looked phenomenal with those kicks. Great textbook technique. Very confident from the start. Awesome stuff from this young man.
Kyle Estrada, an incredible revival story. And he looks happy, he looks content, and he couldn't stop smiling inside the Jaula. He put the work in and just overwhelmed Cristian Barraza here in the flyweight division. Barraza unable to get anything going on the ground. That is his MO. This was his 7th Combate fight. He has been non-stop with Combate over the last 2 years. This was his 7th fight in that 2-year span. But Kyle Estrada back in Combate for the first time since 2016, and he looks like he has worked it all to a positive outcome. This is a great sport.
Once again.
you find sometimes you never know when you're going to hit that height. They might be hitting it right now.
Anytime it's a matter of up and down. We see it in this sport when you least expect it, anyone can lose, and you can be in a winning streak, be at the top of the mountain, and just like that, you can come down. It's such a beautiful sport, you know, it truly is, because it really is unpredictable. Anyone can win a fight at any point. And we've seen it here in Combate Global in the action inside La Jaula, where we see someone that's underestimated, and that's the person that comes out winning at the end. But great stuff coming in this month, Max, as you mentioned. September, man. That's, Seliman and La Loba. You take a look at Sean Mora, who will be making his debut here, Max.
Big spot for him. He's undefeated. Just the 2 fights. This would be a huge test against a man who has just ripped through everyone. Nothing getting through the 2nd round for Victor Cisneros.
Mi nombre es Víctor Cisneros, en el MMA me conocen como Ragnar, soy de Tonalá, Chiapas y tengo 25 años. Lo que más me gusta de mi país es que somos 100% huevos mexicanos y lo que me encanta de mi estado de Chiapas es que somos gente muy luchona. Yo sacrifiqué todo, sacrifiqué mi casa, mi familia por venir y seguir un sueño. Soy 2 personas completamente diferentes, fuera de la jaula soy una persona muy amistosa, muy noble, cero problemática, cero enojona. pero entro a la jaula y todo cambia, ¿no? Toda la mentalidad. Yo creo que se me cambia el chip como a modo asesino. Mi estilo de pelea, yo creo que me acomodo a como venga el rival. Si me toca un luchador, yo creo que la estrategia es el striking, el boxeo, como buen mexicano. Si me toca un chavo que esté muy cabrón en striking, yo creo que la estrategia sería la lucha, finalizar, someter, porque tengo 4 finalizaciones en el primer round y tengo un knockout en el primer round. Mi mayor fuente de inspiración para seguir entrenando día con día es la obsesión, ¿sabes? La obsesión vence al talento. Y yo me inspiro de las veces que me han dicho que no se puede y que no puedo. Entonces lo anhelo demasiado porque me dijeron que pues, nunca lo iba a lograr, ¿no? Entonces veme aquí.
Back inside the Jaula, getting ready for the main event. And if you got to see the training regimen there, Victor Cisneros, holy smokes, 5 fights, nothing getting out of the first round. A tremendous talent, but we're seeing him in the big leagues of Combate Global for the first time. How will he adapt against a very tough Cubano in Sean Mora? This will be in the bantamweight division, 135 pounds. Just goes to show you the width and breadth and the depth of this Combate roster. 2 guys making their debut, not in the top 10, both unbeaten, and both looking to make a huge impression. Axel Osuna there. We saw him, getting ready to see him again. We talk about great flyweights. He may won. He was a flyweight, now at 135.
He may get a title shot very soon.
Certainly worthy. So impressive at the end of August.
That's the man right there, David Martinez.
That's the man at 135.
The champion going at it. Good stuff coming up this month.
And are we getting a preview?
Oh, I think we are, Max.
Are we getting a title fight? Mexico contra Mexico. Martinez Osuna. These beautiful backdrops. A reminder to go visit Mexico. Incredible place, great people, great food, great beverages.
Really great food. And there it is.
Lucero Acosta, social media sense.
Lucero.
Fans de la Loba, espero no se pierdan esta pelea que vamos a tener porque maybe va a ser la última vez que la van a ver. Ella va a querer retirarse después de la paliza que le voy a dar. Lucero, espero te estés tomando muchas fotos con esa cara que la tienes muy bonita ahora porque después de la pelea vas a estar un poco fea.
Mariel Selimen.
Esta es la nueva cara de Combate Global.
You do not want to miss that on a very special Saturday, September the 24th, what we're being told with the Canal 5 and TUDN, the most viewed women's MMA bout. Not there yet, but there is a lot of talk it could meet it. But we have to get some great fights coming your way now. Is it Sean Mora's night? He's got Victor Cisneros. It would be a career-changing victory if he can get it. We are back. It's time for the main event. 2 undefeated fighters going face-to-face, cara-a-cara, head-to-head. Sean Mora, Victor Cisneros. Who will be the guy to seize the opportunity, get the publicity, and perhaps make his way into the rankings of Combate Global? The only reason they're not in there is they're just fighting. Welcome to Combate Global. Do they have the goods? Let's get to know Sean Mora, a Cubano with a great story, representing Cuba and the United States tonight in the main event.
Vi en el MMA como un deporte, lo más parecido a la lucha. Y quise continuar mi carrera deportiva en este deporte. Mi estilo de pelea es más bien la lucha agarrada, buscando el piso todo el tiempo y tratando de someterse. Quiero demostrarme y demostrar que estoy a este nivel. Víctor Cisneros, espero que te hayas preparado bien y vengas listo para la batalla.
Undefeated in MMA, Sean Mora coming out, light jog intensified. Last fought August 2021, a unanimous decision. Both his victories, both his fights of his professional career ending in unanimous decisions.
Training out of the Freedom Fighters. We saw some of the clip there showing his shirt. This man is a champion in the world of wrestling, Pan American, and has been working on his hands in his amateur levels in Florida. He displayed some great stuff there with his boxing, so looking forward to that inside La Jaula here tonight as he makes his debut.
Para mí es un orgullo representar a México en una empresa tan grande como es Combate Global. Es una gran responsabilidad, pero hay que poner a Chiapas en el mapa. Yo creo que me acomodo a como venga el rival. Si me toca un luchador, yo creo que la estrategia es el striking, el boxeo, como buen mexicano. No sé si finalizar por knockout, por sumisión, como normalmente lo hago. Me gustaría dar un buen show, una buena pelea, sangre de mi parte y sangre de la otra.
Always like to see a fighter from a new corner of the world, and Victor Cisneros, who's training in Mexico City, has mentioned, he said it there, time to put Chiapas on the map. From Tonala and Chiapas, that's in the southeast of Mexico, not too far from the Yucatan Peninsula. And a little unknown, certainly from athletic prowess. The old soccer team Jaguares back in the day that's now in the lower divisions, but maybe this is the guy to really put that state on the map. Tremendous talent, 5-0. Head-to-head, cara-a-cara, both the same age. 6-inch height advantage. Mora, diminutive bantamweight at 5'1". He does have a 1-inch reach advantage. He'll be looking to get this to the ground, but proceed with caution, as Victor Cisneros has never seen the second round in his 5 professional bouts. Looking to make quick work. That's his thing for the man they called Ragnar. We'll tell you the story about his nickname and much more. But first, as we always like to, we hand it off to Lupe Contreras.
Este es el duelo estelar de esta noche, un choque de invictos, 3 vueltas, división peso gallo. This is the main event. 2 undefeated fighters, 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Mark Streisand, Byron Sellers y Eliseo Rodríguez. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de azul, presenting the blue corner, wearing blue, su peso oficial, 137 libras y 3 cuartos, his official weight, 137 3/4 pounds. Esta noche entra por tercera vez a la jaula con un récord invicto de 2 combates profesionales. Tonight, he enters la jaula for the 3rd time as a pro with an undefeated record and 2 professional bouts. De La Habana, Cuba, and now fighting out of the MIA, Miami, Florida, Sean Mora. Su rival en la esquina roja, vestido de negro con verde y rojo, his opponent in the red corner, wearing black with green and red. He weighed in at an official 135 1/2 pounds de toda la báscula, a un peso oficial de 135 libras y media. Esta noche, igual que su rival, entra a la jaula buscando mantenerse invicto con 5 victorias. Tonight, like his opponent, he too enters la jaula looking to remain undefeated with 5 victories. Del estado de Chiapas, and fighting out of la Ciudad de México, Víctor Ragnar Cisneros. El referee, Josh Rutgers.
Josh Rutgers and the best mutton chops in MMA, the 3rd man inside la jaula. I'm not sure either one are listening or understand Josh Rutgers. It's the way it is. I'm sure some gets absorbed.
Oh, here we go, Max. Sean Mora versus Victor Cisneros.
We've heard so much about these two.
Mora with that great wrestling background, Cisneros with that great stand-up, but of course, most of his victories have come by way of submission, including 3 arm bars. His latest is a Kimura and a ground and pound. I think the first 3 minutes of this first round will kind of know where it's gonna go. Cisneros needs to use that reach to keep Mora at bay, because Mora with that wrestling will come right at you. But I'm sure Mora got the memo, what we like here in Combate Global, to stand and bang.
Will it go to a second round for Cisneros, who's wearing the Mexican colors green and red? Mora looking to go low, decorated Greco-Roman wrestler in Cuba. We've seen that story so many times, using wrestling at the base, and many of these Cuban fighters have gone pretty high. Yoel Romero certainly at the top of that list, but there will be more.
But right from the start, Max, you could tell that they respect each other. But Mora's hands, look at that right hand, lots of power coming into it. It kind of shook Cisneros.
That one was shorter and stronger. Now the uppercut, takedown here for Mora. Did not see this coming.
Now, you would say because of that wrestling background, it would favor Cisneros, but keep in mind, Mora, but keep in mind that Cisneros has those countless of victories by way of submission. But Mora's a strong dude. He's a very strong opponent. Unlike the others he has faced, this has to be the toughest challenge he has faced. Let's see if Cisneros can overcome this.
We always underestimate. We see the record and go, wow, that's incredible. But it's about opponents too. This is definitely a step up. Cisneros has been good. The fighting game in Mexico is so much better than it was just a couple years ago.
He might be setting up for a rear naked choke here, Max. Look what he has. That leg, the locks, the body lock. Positioning himself quite well. Getting himself away from La Jaula. So this is great stuff. And credit has to go to the Freedom Fighters, Red Fundora, who is a phenomenal jiu-jitsu extraordinaire.
This is not what we expected. Sean Mora, who has never finished a fight, against Victor Cisneros, who's never gone the distance in a fight. And it's Cisneros hanging on, looking not to be submitted. That's his game. First round Kimura in February of 2022. First round armbar November 2020. First round armbar February 2019. First round armbar August 2018.
When you get a wrestler and he really understands and becomes awesome at jiu-jitsu, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster for any opponent.
Watch the back of the head.
That base starts in wrestling, and once you start adding all those other sprinkles in there, man, it makes a good recipe for a good tasting ice cream, Max.
Mora's got him locked in, and look at that flex of the quadricep. All muscle on those legs for Mora. That has got to really feel locked in, and Cisneros just sitting there taking the bearing, hoping to beat the clock, but it's a long way to go.
Well, Cisneros doing what he has to do, keeping his chin down, not allowing him to sneak in, although look at that left arm. Mora's just waiting for Cisneros to make any mistake, and he was waiting for Mora to get tired with the legs. Now that body lock, at one point there was loose, now it's back in action, but not as tight as it was. Cisneros very, very patient now, transitioning. But Mora, that's that wrestling that he has. He's gonna put all that body weight. Now he's pinning Cisneros right in La Jaula, making it very difficult for him to move.
Now, trying to put the back on the canvas here of Cisneros, and it's been one-way traffic for Mora. He's got an even better hold. I don't see Cisneros getting out of this unless he gets some help from the officials, but Mora's not going to allow the official Josh Rutgers to come in and stop this. He's being active enough.
And that's what Mora does. Once he gets you on the floor, it's nearly impossible to escape. And he may have here captured that rear naked, Max. Can't see it from this angle, but it almost seemed like he had it.
Well, Cisneros now in big trouble. Getting close to crawling up that back. He has given the back to Mora from the beginning of this round. Now gets out of there.
Cisneros just waiting to get out, but it's so hard. He might be able to slip out of this position. Needs to break that grip that Mora has.
He's almost made it out of this round, but he is decisively losing the fight thus far.
Now, you might ask yourself, how do I get out of this, Max? Well, it has to be a very quick instinct. But the thing is that Mora is just wrapped around Cisneros so tight.
Big forearm. Now his first attempt at a warning from Josh Rutgers for Mora about hitting the back of the head. It's actually his second warning. He's been able to stay on the back, but it will see a second round. First time a second round for Cisneros. A lot of work for the Cisneros corner to unpack here.
Well, it's the first time that Cisneros is gonna enter the second round.
First time their corners had to do any work.
Just take a look at the highlights. Mora with that right that shook Cisneros, pedaling back, and look at that, just boom, right on the chin. And then he attempted that uppercut, was blocked. Mora's wrestling just all day, riding Cisneros, landing elbows, looking for an opening where he can land. A rear naked choke here, a little ground and pound. Great stuff from Mora.
As you see, Josh Rutgers already warning Mora now officially about those blows to the head, so something to keep an eye on. No doubt about it that Mora won that first round. Cisneros now has almost approached this like it is the first round. Start from scratch, nothing went his way.
He has to use that reach. Mora's gonna come at you. And he has heavy hands. Look for that right hand. Cisneros needs to use that jab to keep him at bay.
Glad you could join us here, Combate Global on a Friday night. Our viewers on Paramount Plus and watching all over the globe. My name is Max Bretos alongside Rodolfo Roman. Big fight here. Make sure you tune in September 24th. The return of Juliana Peña to the broadcast team. Reina o Nada, the record-breaking female fight we are anticipating between Lucero Acosta and Mariel Celiben.
Former champ helping us to call the fight here tonight. 24th of September, Saturday. It's gonna be a good one.
No question on that first round, and there it is officially. Good kick to the lead leg there by Cisneros. Can't get taken down. Snuffed it, gets a right hand on the way out.
Cisneros very confident after stopping Mora from that takedown. Now what's interesting, he got hit there with that calf kick. Force Mora to switch. What's gonna be interesting is, Max, is as we get into the latter part of this fight. Mora has more of the muscle, could get a little exhausting overall, although he has, in both of his pro fights, has gone the distance. But let's see if
Cisneros up top, double leg.
Beautiful double leg takedown.
I mean, he got it down by the ankles, and that puts Cisneros down immediately, and now he's got the ground game working again. Side control for a moment, back into the guard.
He nearly had a cradle in there. It's known in wrestling, now working in this position, landing some elbows. Heavy hands, as he is, Cisneros can escape and transition. He did it at the end of the first round.
We have not seen any of the Cisneros submission prowess at all.
None at all, and it has to be the strength. Mora's just a strong dude.
Small, compact. Remember, 5'1" compared to 5'7" Cisneros. It's a bad matchup for Cisneros thus far.
Man, Mora would just put that shoulder right. The juggler, man, just taking out the air.
Well, Mora gets that left leg in there, and he is pinned everything down. Cisneros almost flat.
Yeah, look how Mora was pinning that with that left leg. Cisneros' right arm, stopping him from doing anything.
Mora's not letting him go.
Nasty, heavy elbows coming from the Cuban. He may pass here to. He's looking for a little ground and pound. He's just waiting for Cisneros to open up the legs. But see, Cisneros has that left leg wrapped around on the left. He's trying to get the mount, but he is working from the side. Lancer shot's gonna pin him towards, there it is, now he got the mount.
Oh, big time Cisneros, the arms are pinned back too. This has been absolutely clinical from Mora. Spreads the hips out, and Cisneros is trapped.
That is what Mora had wanted, and he's getting it here. Now Now he's gonna land those heavy hands, those elbows. Cisneros now just pretty much protecting himself as much as he can. And he's in a tough position because the Jaula's right there. He doesn't have the free flow to turn around much.
Everything's come comfortably for Victor Cisneros in his MMA career, and now all of a sudden, here he is. Lost the first round, getting beat up in the second round at risk of losing his first professional fight.
It seemed like Cisneros was looking at his corner, and he was quickly met by one of those elbows from Mora. Cisneros, though, now clearly stepping out the way.
Yeah.
He left.
Turns it.
He used that Jaula psychology very well to moving this fight away from the Jaula.
Something to hang your hat on if you're Cisneros. Probably not good enough to win this fight unless he can really finish this final minute well.
But right now,
or maybe submit his opponent.
Right, Cisneros in a good position here. He could now search for something. May have a triangle. They have the side. Maybe look at Kimura, maybe.
Oh, there it is. In a flash, this is what he can do.
There it is. Oh, man.
It's deep.
Holy cow.
Both legs in an instant with blood trickling down his eye. Mora's out, though.
Great transition from Mora.
How was he able to persevere?
Wow.
Mora back on top. What a transition.
Wow.
Mora's tired now, a bit heavy with those strikes. Still a wake-up call for the Cuban. Cisneros is back in it, but he's going to need another opportunity in round number 3, just like that. That was pretty.
That was good stuff. Really good stuff. I see Max Cisneros squinching on that left eye. I know he was bleeding. I don't know from where. Mora here, I feel like he's still trying to recuperate. They're getting some oxygen, but Cisneros capitalizing on that right hand on Mora. Mora using all that body weight. And then Cisneros towards the middle of the fight. Turn things around. He tried to go for an armbar. Man, it looks so pretty how he nearly capitalized on it and won it. But however, Mora was able to survive, transition well. Good work from both these men.
A remarkable moment there where we saw Victor Cisneros able to get the submission attempt. Looked like he could possibly win it, but then the response from Sean Mora to get out of that armbar attempt.
Yeah, but look at that left eye from Cisneros, Max. He has a cut underneath, but on the side, see how on the side is like something bulging out, and he keeps pressing on it. Don't know how much of an impact it's doing on his vision.
Round 3, Cisneros cannot be taken down here. Has to fight his fight, get that submission attempt. He can finish a fight in an instant, but he needs that opportunity. He got one in round 2.
Mora's corner telling him to keep that left hand because it's kind of low.
Big
Cisneros
kick.
saw it. That's why he ended connected in that side. He knows that Mora's keeping that left hand down. Needs to keep that guard up.
Cardio is going to be huge here. Mora expended so much energy in that opening round. You can see where he's still tremendously fit, but this is a tough business. That one blocked.
Both these guys being tested, they've never been tested like this in none of their pro fights.
Big kick, just whipped out there. But that was anchored down by Mora.
Notice now Mora has slowed down a lot. He's not coming in fierce.
Takedown, flushed Cisneros, but this could set up a submission attempt. But you saw Cisneros frustrated as he got sat down there.
And Mora this might be the game plan right here. Just wrestle him the entire round. Just put that body on it. Use some of those elbows, shots.
Mora looking to clear that guard again, and he's mounted Cisneros, the Pan American Youth Champion, training combat sports for 16 years, has Cisneros in some peril yet again.
There's the open scoring, Max. Mora winning it so far. Cisneros needs to pull something out that hat if he wants to win it. He nearly did it in the previous round with that armbar. Mora again using that weight, that strength, that muscle power that he has.
Again, now he's got completely Cisneros flattened out. This is how do you get out of here if you're Cisneros, especially in the third round?
Yeah, right now he has to push his legs. He already has his hands pushing away Mora, and it has to be a quick movement, very quick. However, you have to be careful because he could get caught, but it has to be a quick transition. And he's using La Jaula to get out, and then this is where he wants it, because he wants that free space to move around, to be able to switch and get off of this position. Maybe even grab an arm. If he's coming down with those hammer fists or some of those punches, grab an arm. But it has to be a quick reaction to get off this.
Settled in. Mora can stay here and win this fight and take the O away from Victor Cisneros. Coming in 5-0. He has never experienced anything like this.
Cisneros keeps touching that left eye.
It's bothering him for sure.
It's not the cut underneath. It's on the side of the eye. Something was coming up, right? Man, Mora's so good using his body weight, making it even difficult for
he's like a jacket.
Yeah, Cisneros can't even bridge. Can't do anything.
Just masterful from Mora.
See, like Cisneros more like in a fetal position.
We've seen the freedom fighters prepare their fighters so well over the last few weeks. They've done it again. Cisneros is out, but what can he do with a minute 10? If it goes to the decision, he's going to lose the fight, Cisneros.
This is a cradle right here. This is textbook wrestling. You're able to pin someone. Of course, that doesn't count here in MMA. Great stuff from Mora, man. He's just driving through, and he knows that he has less than a minute to go. It's a great chance.
Something here for Cisneros.
He's searching. I mean, kudos to Cisneros.
Yeah. I mean, he is practical right now. Oh, he's got a heel. He's got it. Oh, he had it. But he's out. Back to the rear naked, or to the back.
Man, he nearly put that rabbit out the hat.
Little sweep of the leg, and that might do it.
That might be it right here.
We didn't know enough about Cisneros. This is still a significant surprise, but Victor Cisneros will have to go back to the drawing board with his first defeat, but the sky's the limit for Sean Mora. Superb game plan, executed perfectly, squeezed the fight right out of Victor Ragnar Cisneros. They call him Ragnar because he used to have the long hair like one of the old Vikings. Maybe shouldn't have cut it too soon. We'll be back for the official decision.
La Loba, Lucero.
Fans de La Loba, espero no se pierdan esta pelea que vamos a tener, porque maybe va a ser la última vez que la van a ver. Ella va a querer retirarse después de la paliza que le voy a dar. Lucero, espero te estés tomando muchas fotos con esa cara que la tienes muy bonita ahora, porque después de la pelea vas a estar un poco fea.
Mariel Selimen.
Esta es la nueva cara de Combate Global.
We are back, and there's the face. He's taking it very well, Victor Cisneros, but can you imagine all this? You get the main event fight, and you never are given any oxygen by Sean Mora, and defeat number 1 will be made official now as we go to Lupe Contreras.
Después de 3 vueltas, los jueces entregan tarjetas de 30 a 27 after 3 rounds. The judges turn in scores of 30 to 27 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision, a favor del vencedor por decisión unánime. repping the MIA, Sean Mora.
The 305 is in the house. Sean Mora still unbeaten to a lot of people's surprise, but not to him. This was a beautifully crafted game plan, and even better than the game plan, the execution. Sean Mora, 135-pounder, seizing the day in the main event. Dale!
Can you do that, Max?
No.
All right, let's get the interview that you translate on the spot. That's our colleague, Lindsay.
No va a recibir aquí, Sean.
Yep.
Otra!
La celebración por la victoria maravillosa.
The celebration of the victory.
Dos hombres que llegaban invictos.
Two men that came in undefeated in Combate Global.
¿Cómo te sientes?
How do you feel?
Verdaderamente me siento bien.
I feel well.
Cansado, te escuchas.
You feel tired, but I am tired, yes.
Un oponente demasiado fuerte.
He's a good opponent, strong, but
Aparte de mis pocas peleas,
aside from not having my fight, I confide in my passion in what I've been doing.
Me vas a ir contando mientras
All
vemos
right,
las
tell us what
ahí.
happened here in this
¿Cuál fue
fight.
la clave para ti?
What was the
para
key?
esta victoria?
creo que sobre todo la confianza en mi preparación.
My confidence in my work,
Este es un deporte que en el
preparation.
momento que tienes que estar enfocado en lo que estás
This is a
haciendo.
sport that you always have to be
Y cuando
focused.
tú estás bien entrenado y vienes con los juegos perfectos. todo
You're
bien.
well
Cuando te
trained,
hace
and you
golpes
gotta come with a good game
importantes
plan.
arriba, pero también abajo. Cuando te fuiste a lo que es
When
tu
you went to the
expertise,
floor,
pudiste
your
dominar el combate.
expertise,
Sin
which is
embargo,
your wrestling,
en el segundo asalto,
the second
hubo un momento
round,
en donde te puso en predicamento, te puso en
he put you in
problemas
a
con un arm
tough
bar,
position in an
con
arm
una
bar.
barra de brazo. ¿Cómo te salvaste?
How
¿Cómo
did you
pudiste
escape?
A ver, no fue que me puse en riesgo. Yo quería
He didn't put me in any danger.
de la pelea para saber
Ah, ¿lo hiciste por show?
exactamente si no.
Did you do it to show off? Yes.
Estamos viendo ese momento y todos pensábamos que se podía acabar.
Well, we all thought that it was going to finish. No, I was watching.
Bueno,
That wasn't going to
entonces
happen.
también tenemos aquí probablemente a un
Well,
próximo actor.
I think we
de
have ourselves a
Hollywood.
good
Muy
actor.
bien. Ahí espectacular, todo fue parte de un show.
Great
Dice que no te
spectacle
puso en
here.
predicamento, nosotros
It's a show.
te
It seems like he never was in trouble, is what he's saying. Did you look at my face? I was never
Sean,
worried.
Eres un espectáculo dentro y fuera
You are a
de la jaula de
spectacle
Combate
outside
Global. Excelente
of Combate
presentación
Global
en
out of the
nuestra
jaula.
cartelera estelar, en ese acérrimo enfrentamiento que siempre
All
tienen
right.
Estados Unidos, un cubano, pero
You're a
representando
Cuban, but
a
of course you're
Miami
representing Miami, Florida.
Sí, soy cubano, pero
I'm
prácticamente
Cuban,
Miami.
but representing Miami.
Cubano. Viven muchos cubanos aquí.
There's a lot of
Y un
Cubans that live
orgullo
here,
para mí estar en este lugar.
and it's an honor to be here representing them.
Felicidades por esa
Congratulations
victoria.
on that victory. And you know, any producer, director, he's available for you for a great acting gig.
Me regresa con ustedes, Carlos Bube.
Max, I've never heard of that in my That's the first time I've heard a fighter said, I'm in trouble. Did you see that? I wasn't in trouble.
He never was in trouble. The
Who would've
stats will
thought he had
back it up.
charisma?
He missed one strike. 99% accuracy, by the way. I'm going to tell you, 99% accuracy is good.
I'm still shocked because we saw all those interviews during fight week. I didn't know that they had jokes.
Well, yeah, he was giving one-word answers to every question. We were getting a little frustrated. It was like, how do you see this fight going? See? No. He was playing possum. And now he's doing backflips and giving the Shakespearean responses to folks.
Oh, man, great stats there from Mora, though. Very impressive in his Combate Global debut inside La Jaula. 2 takedowns is all he needed, because this pretty much pretty much took control of the entire bout for all those 3 rounds. And like he said, don't be taken by that armbar. He was never in trouble. Just look at his face. Man, give this guy an Emmy.
Indeed. He just completely
I've
took
never
us
heard of
off
that.
guard.
I never heard of that. but good way to play it off, right?
It's his night. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. All the hype was around Cisneros. And maybe it will be again one day. But tonight, Sean Mora with the Freedom Fighters again, preparing their fighters incredibly well. Another victory. Cubano from Miami. He's American now.
And a lot of the Cubans that we've seen here, they have that background either in judo or in wrestling. And man, they work on those hands. They're just different fighters. As we're thinking like the Irish woman, Nadine Abbott, making her debut inside La Jaula. Seen lots of Irish fighters making their professional debuts. And she is the next one. And then her opponent, Ariana Melendez, out of Florida, Max. This young lady, a professional surfer, representing the Fusion XL, home to great fighters like Anna Goldie and many others. Mitchell Chameli as well, a professional fighter, cornering her right behind her.
Love those shots from the tunnel. And that'll wrap up our coverage here. This one should be good. Both these fighters come in with a lot of fanfare, an incredible build-up through amateur ranks. They've done everything the right way. When you talk to people in their camps, they tell us that they are the goods. Now they're going to meet each other. It's going to be a very stern challenge for both of them right out of the traps here with Combate Global.
Looking forward to this one. Again, the Nadine 2021. She was the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation champion. Took on the best fighters in her weight class. Had an amateur record of 7-2. So she comes in with a lot of experience in her amateur levels, and on paper, she's a stud.
Here we go. Our final fight, feature women's fight. Nadine Abbott, Ariana Melendez. That is coming your way next. Downtown Miami, if you look closely, you can see the slip where Rodolfo keeps his boat, and he'll be hitting that later to enjoy the rest of the weekend. Take a little spin around the bay. Always a great week. Miami, we've appreciated so much, and it's because we're in Miami that we get to see stories like Mora. His camp is here, and Miami is becoming a hotbed of MMA. I mean, leaving levels of New Mexico and Las Vegas and Big Bear, it's right there. And now two new fighters coming out to make their Combate debut. For Nadine Abbott, it will be her MMA debut. She faces Ariana Melendez. Surf's up. Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
Entrando a la jaula, Nadine Abbott.
Nadine Abbott, this is her professional debut, but she has done all the work coming into it. 7-2 in the amateurs. She won the IMF AF World Championship, training for 6 years, inspired by so many that have come before her. As Ireland together standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, we answer Ireland's call, ringing true in the MMA circles.
And a TV celebrity, I think we could talk about that later on.
Ireland's fittest family?
Yeah. Have you seen that show?
Guess whose family wouldn't be able to go on that, whether they were Irish or not? Let's go back to Lupe Contreras.
Su oponente, Ariana Melendez.
She used to work at a surf shop, and an MMA fighter came in while she was working, and she asked him questions about the sports. The conversation went on. She went to a gym, had a class. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. She is in a new career, and she loves it. Ariana Melendez from Orlando, Florida, landlocked, so obviously the surf shop had to be maybe there on the Space Coast area. Nicknamed Kid Diamond.
That's good as a surfer, right?
Yeah.
Woo! Builds a lot of balance.
By the way, when you talk about Kelly Slater, maybe the greatest surfer of all time from Florida. So if you start rolling your eyes, if you're in Hawaii or California.
We got some spots here.
Some spots. Rodolfo, when he's not boating, sometimes takes his board out.
None of that's true.
Nadine Abbott, just 21 years of age, just getting started, but the same for Melendez. 1-inch height advantage for the Irish woman, 1-inch reach advantage for the surfer. We're at the atom weight division, both clearly making their way. Lupe Contreras for the final time tonight.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. 3 vueltas, división peso átomo. We continue with much more action. 3 rounds in the atom weight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Richard Green, Mark Streisand y Byron Sellers. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestida de blanco, presenting the blue corner, wearing white, su peso oficial, 104 libras y un cuarto, her official weight, 104 1/4 pounds. Después de una exitosa carrera amateur, esta noche debuta dentro de la jaula de Combate Global. After a successful amateur career tonight, she makes her debut inside of la jaula, fighting out of Dublin, Ireland. Nadine Abbott. Su contraria en la esquina roja, vestida de azul, her opponent in the red corner, wearing blue, su peso oficial, 104 libras y 3 cuartos, her official weight, 104 3/4 pounds. En su cuarto combate, con 2 victorias y una derrota, in her 4th professional bout with 2 victories against 1 lone defeat, de Orlando, Florida, Kid Diamond, Ariana Melendez. El referee internacional, Raúl Porrata.
Coral Gables High graduate, Raúl Porrata, the 3rd inside La Jaula.
Cavaliers, right?
Cavaliers, same colors as Ohio State.
Toquen guantes, touch gloves, back to your corners.
All right, here we go. Expect from Abbott good hands. She has a couple of submission victories in her amateur levels. And as far as Ariana, she has a lot of feint. She's very patient. She's not going to come out right from the start, very fast and furious. She waits for you.
Melendez, who has already began her MMA career and had a successful start. She's won 2 of her first 3 fights. And remember, when you get started, it's hard to piece together victories. Good right hand there by Melendez over the top.
Melendez, of course, has those 3 pro fights already. Abbott, the debut, but you can't count. Just forget about the fact that she is the IMAAF champion, taking on the best of the best. She took that shot, didn't even phase her. Abbott's corner, or Ariana Melendez's corner, telling her to circle around, box a little bit, be patient.
Melendez, who last fought in April, so not a big layoff for her. Unanimous victory via the decision.
And these women are throwing hard hands, Max.
Melendez also has a guillotine choke 1st-round victory back in March of last year in her 2 victories.
They're coming in with a lot of power, those overhand rights from both of them.
How do you expect? I mean, these are 2 young fighters, but Melendez does have that extra experience, and she took a couple right hands. How do you put that into effect against a 21-year-old?
Abbott's taking those shots. She's not even phased, but if she keeps taking many of those, it could come with a price. Just exchanging both of these women, just back and forth.
Nadine Abbott, who was asked about what does it mean representing your country, the best thing, she goes, the support you get. Everyone gets behind you in Ireland, especially if you get more successful. You obviously saw that with Conor McGregor, but it's so many sports. The Irish certainly love their own when it comes to sport. And maybe we're seeing the beginning of that process where the Irish media catches ear of what young Nadine Abbott is doing.
Abbott very smart not to keep that guard up as Melendez is throwing in those overhands, and they were connecting. So good for her on adjusting that guard, and now she's a pair of hands herself.
Rodolfo, Nadine Abbott did say, she goes, I think I am big for 105. I feel big. She looks that way.
She does, yeah. She's the taller of the 2, as you can see right on your screen.
It's good foundation, solid. Her style, always moving forward. She calls it dominating, but she is not afraid to get into those tough positions. Now she's got her back against La Jaula.
Yeah, she's going to use that to push off.
Both connecting.
And they've just been swinging the entire 3 minutes. And they stay in the pocket. It's not like if they move around.
These are two very good put-together fighters with skills, striking skills. We'll see what happens if it goes, or when it goes to the ground. Good couple right hands there by Melendez.
Abbott snuck in that hook that tested the jaw of Melendez.
Melendez blinking a little bit out of that left eye. May have a good right hand. Doubled up those combinations.
Great 1, 2, 3 combination.
Melendez fast hands. Knee.
Melendez, she's banking on that overhand right.
Heavy rotated overhand rights.
She's already thrown 3 in a matter of 5-10 seconds.
It's got to be more precise, though. Those take a little energy out. Combination, Melendez in and out.
And what Melendez is doing is she's trying to use that feint so she can land it. You even heard the corner, feint, 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 throw the right.
She's going to be looking for a takedown. Be smart.
Perhaps a change of levels.
Maybe. Why not? If it's available, that leg is there for you.
Oh, good combination, and that second right hand pushed her back.
That one shook her.
Abbott's all right, sitting in the pocket, throwing punches, but you can't take too many like that.
She tried to clinch there. She's going for the takedown. Now Melendez.
Guillotine. Spins around. She's got something brewing underneath.
Well, let's see what Abbott's ground game is all about. If she can defend this. She's breaking the grip. Getting herself out. Melendez does have that grip.
We're going to stay right here. Don't rush anything.
Ariana, Melendez, I'm definitely two different people. Super nice and respectful outside of the Jaula. Will do anything to have my arm raised. Anything for that. Being in Combate is a milestone. Hard work being recognized. She's very happy to be here. She's making the most of it, cranking away. And we conclude round 1. Whoa!
Ooh, okay.
I see you. Little mouse there under the right eye of Melendez, but really finished that round with a flurry.
Pretty fast pace from both these ladies in that first round. Back and forth in the pocket exchange. Great overhand rights from Melendez. And Nadine very crisp in her boxing, using that jab and straight. Looking forward to the replay in just a few. Take a look at some of that action.
Getting ready for round 2.
There was a little trash talking there, Max, at the end of that first round. Melendez trying to play the mind games. Let's see if he picks up, just like we left off from that first round. Switch stance from Abbott.
But a little more cautious there to get into close quarters with the big swinging Melendez.
Won't be surprised if she tries to change levels in this round. She did that in the latter part of the first round.
Combination, Melendez staying very active.
Good guard though, she did defend those well, but she left herself open there. There's the open scoring, Max. Melendez taking that first round.
Sounds about right. She really ended well too, and like you said, she gave her the look, the stare down, because I got you. I got my eye on you.
Melendez is gonna use that feint.
And Melendez is really starting to unload, and little change of strategy. Abbott now is getting dragged into the deep end of the pool.
See Melendez here. Maybe land some elbows from that position, pushing it off, taking it out to exchange to the center of the Jaula.
Not enough activity here from Nadine Abbott, the 21-year-old Irish woman.
Yeah, right now, she's like a deer in the headlights.
She started MMA 6 years ago. followed her brother's footsteps into the gym and fell in love. And she's been very successful, amateur ranks. We mentioned about what she was able to accomplish with IMMAF.
She does not like those.
She does not like those, says the corner of Ariana Melendez. And she goes right back at it. Very long fighter. Melendez again.
And that overhand right, she's been throwing it. Lots of feints. Very patient.
105-pound atom weight, dominated right now in Combate by Ana Palacios. She's the #1. Claire Lopez, who had an incredible win a few weeks ago, is #2. Gloria Bravo is 3. Winner here likely to have a claim for the top 10. Big punch into the midsection. Changing levels.
Abbott felt that one. Oh, she got hit with that hook. Abbott needs to keep that guard up. Melendez is finding the gaps. Great exchange. But Melendez doing a great way of defending any time that Abbott throws. Seemed like Abbott was throwing an elbow, but Melendez smelled it from a mile away.
Melendez has been consistent in this posture. Excellent stand-up from the opening bell. Flushes her again with the right hand.
And Melendez just looks fresh, man.
Yeah, she looks like she's fought. Very conventional, good footwork, closing the gap again.
Melendez, you can see her confidence in this fight. She knows that she has Abbott where she wants her. And look at that exchange, Abbott just taking those shots. She needs to keep the guard up.
She's out, she's trapped now. Melendez lurking.
And she needs to get out of this position, needs to circle out.
Now working that ankle, that lead leg. I want to say the lead leg was pretty flat. She was almost keeping her balance with the cage.
Good way of Abbott leaving that position, because it's like she became bait.
Under a minute to go here, round 2. Now starting to work those legs. Not a bad idea because Abbott is meeting her upstairs, 50-50.
Yeah, Melendez figured out, Max, that now it's time to work on the legs.
Yeah, how do you lower that guard? How do you lower that?
To soften her up.
Giddy up, another kick. That's bothering Abbott now. The legs are starting to hurt. 20 seconds to go, round 2.
Abbott desperately tried to go to the floor, but Melendez just didn't have her. Gave away any opportunity for it.
Always comes in with such vigor, Melendez. Empties the chamber, then it gets filled again. Oh. Good left hand right at the end of round 2. Abbott stays on her feet.
Sure, some of the stuff that the corner of Abbott is telling her is keep your hands up. Melendez is just putting in those shots and she's connecting. Corner there, Mitch Tremelli, pro fighter, telling her work the body.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in round 3. Maybe time to go to a little different strategy to finish this fight if you're Melendez.
No backward movement.
Ready here for round 3. A little check if everything is in where it needs to be. This is it for Nadine Abbott. She still has a shot here.
And this is her first fight, Max. We gotta remember that. You would have seen that, sworn that she's been around for some time in the pro levels, but
she was in worse shape at the end of round 1. Round 2, it's better footing for her.
Shaped up a little better, yeah. Work a little bit more on that footwork too. She's be a little bit more fluid. Circle around a little bit. Keep the hands, but she keeps putting those hands down. I don't know if she's trying to use it to bring in Melendez so she can strike, but protect yourself at all times. That's the rule of the game.
Some good straight ahead attack there from Abbott. Just not coming in from wide. Melendez comes in wide. Abbott coming in route one again.
Yeah. Open scoring just tells it to you right there.
They exchanged the smile at each other just then.
It almost seemed that the stance from Abbott is she's leaning towards Melendez. See if she has that face. It's like,
well, Abbott's tough, but she walks through a lot.
No doubt. You get the heart of a lion.
Ariana Melendez, a lot of family problems. Her mother was sick with pulmonary hemorrhages. She was 14. Her mother was in and out of the hospital. Had to reassess things. She wants to be an inspiration for her sisters. Show that her little sisters, prove to them that if you put your mind and effort into anything, you become anything you want to be. I also want to prove to myself, she's told us.
Abbott's just desperate. She's trying to take this fight to the floor somehow. She even, she did connect with that right
turning.
She did. That's what she's been trying to do this entire round. Throw the right and grab a leg.
You gotta love the stick-to-itness of Abbott. She was getting beat up pretty good in the first round, but here she is in round 3, and she's been offensive.
She hasn't quit. She's still hungry.
Try to grab that leg, see if she can procure something from a little different strategy.
But as you throw those shots, Abbott needs to keep the hands up. She's getting too comfortable with that, and that could be dangerous.
It's been tough here for Abbott, again, getting caught. She didn't like that last exchange. She backed out quickly. She graduated from high school at 17, Abbott. Worked her way.
Look at that right leg of Abbott, Max. Bruised up, look at that.
Yeah, she's a little worse for wear for sure. Upstairs, downstairs. It's been a barrage of striking here from Ariana Melendez. 2 minutes to go.
Sure, Melendez is gonna kick that right leg again because this is bruised up.
It's a tough sport. Good straight left there by Abbott. Back in it. That got Melendez's attention.
Yeah, Abbott needed to be continuous though. That 1-2's not gonna cut it. And she keeps putting herself in this position. It's like the third time I see it in this round. She needs to move.
Feels like there is still one good sequence here in this fight. Melendez may be the one to do it. She starts unfurling again. But Abbott's in the center of the Jaula.
That low kick to the outer leg, man, and she's just been working on it. There's again.
Comes inside, overextended there, Nadine Abbott.
And she's taking the air out that wheel.
Still swinging. The 21, how could you not be impressed by Abbott? The amount of punishments she's taken and still walking forward, which is exactly, she said, the kind of fighter she is.
She's tough as nails. She's still coming to fight.
It's been stand-up all the way, with the exception of one takedown from Melendez, which followed up with a choke attempt.
Yeah, but Abbott needs to check the kicks. She needs to check the kicks. That's why you see that left knee is bruised up and the outer leg right by the hamstring area towards the calf area, bruised up. Needs to check them.
Abbott still thinks she can win this fight. And Melendez has to be frustrated because she has thrown everything kitchen sink, you name it, single leg here. But enough time to work on something? Probably not.
But she needs to grab that leg, use that right shoulder, and break her down.
Melendez getting a lot of coaching in the meantime.
But she needs to keep that chin down because that guillotine is there available.
Great fight. Two real warriors going at it in an atom weight division that's getting stronger and stronger thanks to the participation of these two.
Man. Still has the energy to go.
Better than surfing. She'll be the first to tell you. Maybe you can do both, but she has found her calling and likely on her way to her third professional win. Welcome back. Final moments of our coverage tonight. A frustrated Nadine Abbott, but Made a fan out of both of us. Now the official decision going Ariana Melendez ways, we are sure, to Lupe Contreras.
Después de 3 vueltas, el juez Sellers anotó 30-27 after 3 rounds. Judge Sellers scores it 30-27. Y los jueces Streisand y Green entregan tarjetas de 29-28. And judges Green and Streisand turn in scores of 29-28 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. A favor de la ganadora por decisión unánime. ¡Kid Diamond! ¡Ariana Melendez!
Well, Nadine Abbott was able to win the 3rd round according to the scorecard, so progress there, but too good for Ariana Melendez.
I guess if you liked it, he's in La Jaula, Max.
Yes, he did. Campbell McLaren approves.
And as we're seeing the replay of the bout between these ladies right from the start, they were duking it out in the pocket, just exchanging non-stop. Fierce and furious Melendez with the overhand right. Nadine 1-2 combination, just back and forth with the feint, anticipating a KO. However, Abbott, man, she is just tough as nails. She took everything from Melendez, including those kicks that towards the end of the fight left both her left and leg bruised up. But she kept swinging. She didn't quit. Right to the end of the 3rd round, until she heard that bell, she kept swinging, striking. She did try to change levels, try to take the fight to the ground. However, Melendez was just too much. And now she obtains her 3rd victory as a professional.
She said at the end, that's 3. Clearly planning on many, many more. So Nadine Abbott was pretty strong in the end there, winning that 3rd round, but unfortunately wasn't enough. She needed a 4th round, but she kept fighting to the end. We get the main event, a little wiggle.
And now the main event, Max, as you mentioned, we're going to call this guy the actor, Sean Mora.
Yeah, it all came out tonight.
El actor. Get this guy in a soap opera. As Mora was just too much for Cisneros, who came in undefeated no longer. He was just dominant right from the start. Heavy hands, his wrestling here was the name of the game, putting his body on him. Cisneros did find some hope.
Thought he may have had it there.
According to Mora, he said he was acting the entire time. He knew what he was up to. He was just putting on a show, and he felt very confident knowing that he was going to win this fight in dominant fashion, and rightfully so. He did. It was only those 2 opportunities where you would think that Cisneros could maybe win something out, but it just wasn't enough.
He made it a very horizontal fight, did Mora, and that's exactly going to give him the advantage.
That's next week's Max at Dear Terry and Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez hasn't fought since last year. Terry competed as well in Combate Global last year. I know Terry very well. But
that's your coach, right?
Max, please. No favoritism.
You don't show any favoritism.
It's a good fight, guys, especially with Gonzalez and Terry. Listen, Terry has in his resume, he broke a man's leg. And
Wow,
that's Erwin
who said
Rivera
that?
a couple of years ago.
You said that like Steven Seagal almost. He
It's
broke
true,
a
look it
man's
up.
leg. Following week, make sure you tune in Reina o Nada, Queen or Nothing, as Lucero Acosta will meet up against Maria Celiben. No love lost between those two. We're out of time. Another cracking event here for Combate Global. We'll be back again next Friday, September the 16th. Everyone, looking forward to that main event. Adir Terry and Miguel Gonzalez, part of the Gonzalez brothers.
That's
Maximiliano, the other we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Maximiliano and Miguel, they told me that they opened up their own academy. Good stuff.
We are out of time. It's been a great time to be with you. We brought some more memories your way on behalf of everyone here. Makes this possible. Rodolfo Roman, my name is Max Bretos. Until next time, Placido Domingo.